Breaking news. We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, from Zach Rosenblatt 11 seconds ago. The Jets are moving on from some notable coaches, including quarterback coach Charles London. Woohoo! Everybody goes crazy. Defensive line coach Eric Washington, linebacker coach Aaron Curry, and pass game coordinator Scott Turner. Also, Alonso Escalante, who's one, and Roosevelt Williams. Hearing they will reassign at least one other offensive coach who was retained by Aaron Glenn. So Charles London is gone, everybody. Bye-bye, Charlie London. So I guess we don't have to worry about what kind of relationship he has with Malik Willis. So breaking news, everybody. As of 11 seconds ago, Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic is reporting the Jets are moving on from some notable coaches, including quarterback coach Charles London, defensive line coach Eric Washington, linebacker coach Aaron Curry, and pass game coordinator Scott Turner. Of those, only Scott Turner is a surprise, but considering how bad we were as in the past game, I guess not that surprising. Aaron Wilson is also reporting that we're moving on from Roosevelt Williams, who was a minor assistant coach, and Alonso Escalante, who was also a minor assistant coach on the defensive staff. Aaron Wilson is hearing they will reassign at least one other offensive coach who was retained by Aaron Glenn. I wonder if they're going to reassign Coach Hayden to the tight end coach, make Coach Blasco the assistant tight end coach, and hire Coach Ledyard, who got let go by Stefanski, who brought in Callahan to be his O-line coach. Ledyard is known to be an excellent offensive line coach. So let's hope they get an upgrade at offensive line coach, and now we have an opening at quarterback coach, which opens up the lines of the line of possibility for me, for my idea of putting Chad fucking Pennington in there. Could now happen. Braden said, I don't want anyone. Well, so they're going to have, some of them are going to have injury histories, but it's a matter of how significant. So Caleb Banks was significant. Now, I wouldn't not draft Caleb Banks, but you're not going to draft him at 14. There's a difference in drafting a guy 35 and 14. You got to be sure 100% about that guy at 14. 35, you could take a chance. So it's just a difference. Braden says, wow, cleaning house for who I wonder. Willis can have, yeah, that's the other thing. Hey, Malik, who do you... Maybe we're talking to Malik's agent, who's David Mulugeta, and we're saying, who would Malik like over here? You know, we'll go get him. But also Chad Pennington, I will say, breaking news, 25 concurrent viewers. This is telling me, I don't know if that's true or not, but hey, by the way, if you're in here, give a like, give a thumbs up. We're doing breaking news here on the FSPN channel, live on the show. But I did speak with, earlier this week, someone who knows Chad Pennington. Oh, yes. And I made it clear to this person that we, the Jet fan base, would love it if Mr. Pennington would consider being our quarterback coach. Now, I don't know if that's going to get back to Chad, but would be nice, and I'm sure he already knows that's, you know, could happen. I mean, you would think. Now, you say, what kind of coaching experience does Chad Pennington have anyway? Well, first of all, he's been coaching, head coach at high school level for 8 years now. And his kids have gone through there. You know, his kids are quarterbacks too, his boys. So, and I think they're just about done. I think they're all gone to college, if I'm not mistaken. So we know he has an interest in coaching anyway. And quarterback coach is a perfect entry-level position for someone like him. He was a quarterback for two teams, essentially. For a long time, the NFL had a lot of injuries. Of course, we all remember Chad. And then after that, he went into coaching. He was a head coach of a high school team. So go from head coach high school to quarterback coach, that's logical. Whereas Philip Rivers, going from head coach high school to head coach of the Buffalo Bills, potentially. That's ridiculous. So we got some breaking news here on FSPN. We didn't break it. We gave it to Zach Rosenblatt, is the one who broke the news. Um, Now, Country Club Connor Hughes has blocked me, so I have to actually go find his page. Let's see if Country Club has anything to say. So, yeah, he does have something to say. Country Club Connor Hughes says the Jets moved on from these people, blah, blah, blah. Turner's the only one in the group. That surprised me. That's what I said. He says this is interesting, very interesting. Players had a asterisk of issues with Washington and Curry. Well, he didn't talk about that on JFD. I mean, he mentioned that there's some coaches that people weren't happy with. So maybe between Wilkes, Washington, and Curry, those were very poor coaches, perhaps. And that's a mistake. So that's a mistake that Glenn made, and hopefully fixes it. But if the players have a problem with a coach like that, where a person like Country Club Connor Hughes knows about it, you know, that means it was pretty significant. It wasn't just your normal, this guy's pushing me too hard, or this, like, it seems like it's significant if Country Club knows about it. You hear me? So, but good. But I say good. Good on Aaron Glenn. He recognized the problem and he got rid of it. This is a good sign. This is good. I have just internalized. Uh, do we know how close AD? No, but they were teammates. They were teammates. So there's that. But obviously, the coaching community is pretty small, and I'm pretty sure AG is familiar. I mean, certainly knows who Chad is, and it wouldn't be a stretch to think, well, this guy was a very heady quarterback. If he ever wanted to coach, a QB coach would make a lot of sense. So, like, I think this is, as I've internalized this news now, I think this is a great sign. Here's why. It's Aaron Glenn recognizing he made a fucking mistake. Look, he was a first-time head coach. You had to expect mistakes. I told you guys that. And then a lot of people got very angry at AG when, well, we started out 0-7, and there were mistakes made, game management, and people were upset. He's a first-time head coach. Of course he's going to make mistakes. That's stupid expectations. But here we are in his first offseason. He gets rid of he gets rid of Steve Wilkes, which was kind of ballsy if you think about it. That was one of his mentors, one of these old heads that he wanted around for his experience. Got rid of his ass. Now, season ends, getting rid of Coach Washington, Coach Curry, Coach London, and Coach Turner. And you think about it, Scott Turner, probably Turner and London, well, we had a lot of problems with the quarterback position, so we got rid of the passing game coordinator and the quarterback coach. We had a lot of problems on defense, so we got rid of Coach Wilkes and Coach Washington and Curry. I think this is great. It shows he's not afraid to make a change and to change course and to say, essentially, I got these hires wrong, but now we're going to make it right. That's the way it has to be. And so that is, I think, encouraging. Because you could have been a person who was like, no, these are great coaches. What are you talking about? We just have to get better players, which of course we do. But this is very revealing. When Country Club Connor Hughes says players had a lot, with emphasis on the word lot, of issues with Washington and Curry, that is significant. And if you think about it, our front was the problem. And those are the people responsible for our front, along with Wilkes. So we got rid of, it seems like he's cauterized the problem. He's cut it out like a cancer. Get out of here. Now we got to get better players too, but this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. So That is where we are. And I think this is very, very good. Zach says, so nobody else has commented on this. Rosenblatt says, so in totality, after a year, Aaron Glenn will already be replacing a defensive coordinator, pass game coordinator, and 3 key position coaches. Yeah. Because we sucked. We need to change those people out. I think it's a good thing. Now, we're going to have to start winning games, and it doesn't matter what you change out. If we continue to lose, he's probably in trouble. But